Yeah, I just wanted to do a video about I did something like this yesterday, but I ended up deleting it because it didn't, I don't know, I just did. I guess it was too long, and I kind of just, dragged it out longer than I really wanted to. But a lot of people get caught up on like God's skin color and stuff like that. Personally, I mean, nowhere in the Bible does it ever give a clear description or any kind of description of what God looked like when he was down here. And I think there's reasons for that. I mean, there's verses in the Bible that you could definitely take and kind of personalize, and people do that all the time. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, I think that there's a reason why you know there's a reason why God didn't really, I mean, God didn't tell us what he looked like, so obviously it's not that important. I mean, how tall he was. I mean, we know how old he was when he died. I believe he was like 33 years old or something. But skin color, I mean, I've seen all kinds of Jesuses, really black ones, all kinds of Jesuses. White, I mean, not white, but I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of, people just make a big deal out of really nothing. I mean, if you're saved, you weren't saved by skin color. You weren't saved by a name or by a weight. You were saved because he came down here and accounted for your sins, and he saved you based on his grace and his grace alone, his love for you. He didn't save you because he was a certain color or anything else. But yeah, people just want to, I don't know, make a big deal out of it. Frankly, I don't think it is a big deal, and in my opinion, God didn't tell us. My opinion, God didn't tell us, and I think this, my opinion might be right, might be. I mean, it's an opinion, but I mean, I feel kind of strong about this because, nowhere in the Bible does it ever say God was, one way or another as far as like color goes and, anything like that. But the reason I think that is because if we knew what God looked like, there would be statues and images of him all over the place, and people would be bowing down to statues. And if you read the Bible, you could see that God, even in the Old Testament, New Testament, doesn't matter, was, really frowned upon that stuff. We're supposed to worship God in spirit, not, within our five senses and just the way we are, in our fallen nature. If it goes beyond the five senses, I mean, we like things that we could see or feel or touch or smell or taste or whatever, and anything that goes beyond that, we just, it's just easier for us to, kind of like statues and stuff. It just kind of plays into our, into our nature. I mean, we're really limited. But God said to worship him, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to sit there and bow down to any kind of statue or anything, because that's idol worship. And that's probably, I would think, a huge reason why he didn't tell us what he looked like, because like I said, I'm being repetitive, but I feel like I kind of have to, because let's say God came down and said he was a certain way, there'd be statues all over the place, and people would be, people would be saying, well, I'm just, bowing down to God or whatever. I mean, I'm praying to God. No, you're bowing down to a statue. And then people want to use the excuse, well, God knows my heart. It doesn't matter who I pray to or whatever. I mean, people are full of excuses, and I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying, I mean, if you open up the Bible, you could see where people have had the same excuses, and people did the same things, and, God wasn't real nice about it. So, I mean, yeah, God was a certain color, God was a certain weight, or whatever else people want to argue about. But that's not what's important, because, again, he said to worship him in the spirit, not based on looks or anything else. And I think he did us a huge favor by not telling us what he looked like, because that's exactly what would happen. I mean, we don't even know what God looks like, and we have statues of God. Imagine if we did know what God looked like. And then somebody might say, okay, well, what difference does it make, because we still have statues of him anyways? Well, because at that point we're accountable. If God tells us what he looked like going on our, God knows us. He knows that we're a fallen people. I mean, at that point we could just say, okay, well, God, I mean, you know, you fed into our nature. You told us what you looked like, and so it's just, but God didn't do that. So I mean, now it's on us, because I mean, if we want to put up statues and call them this or that, or make them white or black or whoever, I mean, that's on us. I mean, God never told us what, you know what I'm trying to say. I don't really have a knack for explaining things, but I mean, I think just about anybody can really understand what I'm trying to say, so I don't think I need to go on about it. But I mean, that's just my opinion. So I mean, yeah, like, people like to emphasize stuff like that, and it just completely clashes with how God says, worship me in the spirit. So yeah, I guess that's my opinion. So I mean, there it is.